Hello everyone, it's Jackson here. Welcome back to another video. Now, I was going to post a Master Duel video, but in case a couple of duel links happened, so here's my DLV Max Shiranui deck. I won a 24 win streak at some point in time during the climb, which is pretty good. I've done something similar here to my Live Twin video from the last Casey Cup, where with this deck I'm basically just playing a bunch of attacks, so it's not necessarily the best deck, but maybe you can find some decks you might want to play. So I've got 3 Mizuki, 3 Solitaire, 3 Squire, so 3 of all the main ones. You could play less, I've seen some people play less Squire, but playing 30 cards I want to play as many as possible for consistency. In my last video I had 10 level 4s and 23 cards, here I have 13 and 30 cards, so it's as consistent, but I get to play more techs, so it's worth it even if it's slightly worse than all the other level 4s. Now I've got 1 Samurai. This combos with the Spirit Master to be a pop, and also he can help get rid of things like Dingisu, because he banishes whatever he attacks when he's used the first effect. It's pretty nice. Now I've got 2 Spirit Master, 2 of this because it's the best level 4 outside of the main ones. Has the 2 card combo with the Solitaire, so it's good to draw, and also if you draw and go him second, you can always discard him for the skill and then banish him with the level 2, and then you can get a pop off. Got 2 Spectral Sword Shade, could play 1, but 2 is for follow up. Got 1 Spectral Sword, so this is only worth playing if you're playing Beatrice for the Anti-Tachyon Gnomes tech, because you need second level 2, the level 2 tuner in deck to summon off the Solitaire for this combo with Solitaire. And then I've got 1 Smith. This is definitely the worst one, probably wouldn't play him, but we're just testing him out as a tech. In theory you would synchro with him and then get this, but it doesn't come up much. Something you could play is Gozuki, if you're playing the Beatrice version. Gozuki sends the Solitaire, and then when you summon the 6, Solitaire will summon back the 2, and then make another 6 with the Gozuki, and then the second make Beatrice. So another 1 card combo if you just wanted to make Beatrice against Tachyon people. The spells, I've got 2 Droplet, play however many Droplet you have. Got 2 Mind Control, so the theory is the deck's really good going first, so this makes the deck better going second, instead of playing the limit through traps. Forces out the counter trap against Tachyon, because if they've got no Galaxy they can't use it. And then it forces out the Sun Saga against Shiranui, because you can steal this and then they have to use it, or you can steal the Vampire Sucker to summon the Sun Saga back from their graveyard. Good against anything else going second. Maybe make like a Nightmare Phoenix if you steal something and then summon a guy, which helps play through the back row. Then I've got 2 Gold Sark, similar to Mind Control, just good going second. You banish the Spirit Master, pop a card. I think against Tachyon they could make the Cypher Blade guy, which plays around this, but otherwise it will force out the counter trap again. And it's a bit more flexible than Mind Control, because it's also good going first, or even second as an extender instead of as an interruption, because you banish the Solitaire and then Solitaire will summon back from banish. Or if you really need to dig for a card, you can always banish Squire, maybe draw what you need, and that will help you. I've got 1 Goodsmith's Girl, so this is a searchable extender when you're going second with the skill. So it's useful for that, and then also if you go first you can use it to summon the Samurai on the opponent's turn, and then if you have the Spirit Master in the graveyard you can banish for a pop, so it's nice for that. I've got 1 Econ, again just another good card in a second, if they use like a Pokemon on you or whatever, use the Econ, steal that monster. And I've got 1 Synthesis. Most people are not really playing this anymore for this card, but I'm just testing it out still. Decent card for playing around hand types like Veiler. There is a combo with the Beatrice version that lets you end on Beatrice plus the regular end board, because you need the Synthesis on field for the double summon back from Solitaire. I don't really know the combo, but it is useful for that, so maybe you still want to play it if you're playing the Beatrice version. I've got 1 Xyz Encore. This card's really good against Tachyon and a few other XYZ decks, like if you're playing against a Constellar or whatever, but it's useless against anything else, so that's why I'm only playing 1. If you play a lot of Tachyon, maybe worth it. If you don't play much Tachyon, not worth it. It's not terrible to draw though, because you can discard it with the Squire. I've got 1 Needle Sealing. This card's just like a super blowout if you get to use it, because the Sun Saga protects your board, so you wipe your opponent's board for free basically. So pretty nice card. And I've got the Samsara, so this is really good against Tachyon. You can banish to stop yourself taking damage, so you won't die. Then maybe you can win the next turn. It's really good against the Yubel deck, because all their guys do damage when they attack you, but not anymore. It's also just good for stalling games until you draw into what you need on the board, and then gives you the second pop with the Sun Saga, because you banish that and then shuffle it back in. Its own effect to get the second pop, which is nice. And then maybe you can draw some cards with the second effect to have gained some advantage back. in a long drawn out game, so it's nice for that too. I've got one success. A lot of people have got this, but I still think it's decent. Helps, protects your Sun Saga from card effects, so that means it's going to be very hard to out against Tachyon. It's basically another one of this, and that'll last you the turn anyway, because the only way they're going to out is with Dingyasu or the Avalon Traps is Dingyasu or the big 4500 guy, and if your Sun Saga is unaffected by card effects, they can't out it. And then lastly, the Gnomes for the Beatrice. Obviously, again, only really good if you're playing against a lot of Tachyon, because they literally can't play. It's also decent against Shiranui, because you can use this and then the level 3, so they can't use the skill. So, not bad if you draw against that, and a couple of other decks. So for the extra deck, we've got the standard Squire Saga, Doom Kaiser, Shiranui Link, Mayakashi Link 3, we double Sucker for the combo with this. Then for the black spots, we've got the Phoenix to out the back row, and the Beatrice for the Gnomes, although I do really want to put Nightmare Unicorn in here. But unfortunately, I have to play Beatrice. So that's it for the deck, on to the replays. Okay, so first game is up against Tachyon. I'm going to show the Anti-Tachyon FTK Beatrice combo with the Gnomes. So there's a bunch of one-card ways to get to it, but here is Mizuki, going to discard it to add Solitaire with the skill. Then going to use the Solitaire to summon the level 2 from deck. Then Mizuki summon back the Solitaire so we can make the 6 Synchro. Then we're going to make our second level 6 Synchro with the Spectral Sword in the grave. And then Solitaire's going to summon back the level 2 for free. Then we're going to make Beatrice. So there's two options here. You can use Beatrice to send Mizuki on your turn and then Gnomes on the opponent's turn, or the other way around. I'm going to send Gnomes on my turn. They play around different things. So Gnomes on my turn plays around Chalice. Gnome on their turn plays around Crow. So we're going to send the Mizuki, Gnome them. They've got nothing because they can't play the game. They have a set 2 and pass. And we're going to make the Nightmare Phoenix start chewing through the back row. I'm going to IDP, summon back one of my Synchros. And use the Spectral Sword, make my level 8. Summon this, taking a book, but we've got the econ to yoink the Synchro they stole, and that's game and they scoop. Okay, so not the best game here, but it's a 24 Winstreak game, so gotta show it. So against BLS, old meta deck, but not meta anymore. So I have the new meta deck in Shiranui. So I'm going to use the Super Soldier Ritual, summon the BLS. Set 1, use the skill, grab the other BLS. And then set that from deck. I use my skill, send the Mizuki, grab the extender. Summon Squire, summon this from hand because I drew both of them, kick W. Then I'm going to make the 7, I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to chain this to put this in graveyard so I can banish what I discard. Summon this guy because I thought I was going to synchro with him, but decided against it. I'm not going to summon literally anything. Make the 6, going to draw and discard. And I'm going to make Sucker, going to go Mizuki summon back. And I'm going to draw from the Sucker. And then I'm going to make the Sun Saga to pot the BLS and go for game. And also his back row. And he scoops it up. Next game is up against Yubel, which is a bit of a hard matchup if you don't have Samsara or Unicorn in the extra deck, because, those Yubels are kind of hard to out. So I'm going to summon the big Yubel. Going to grab the Neos with skill, set 2 and pass. So I'm going to summon the Squire. They're going to use Magic Cylinders, which somehow happened to be in my last Casey Cup video from last time, but, deja vu. They're going to Bukamu my Tuna. I've not got much going for me, so we're just going to use the skill to grab the Samsara to protect me from this Yubel. And then they're going to summon a second Yubel. And then use the skill, grab the Miracle Contact. Summon the Kluger. We've got the Samsara to stop ourselves from taking a bunch of damage, and luckily off the draw 1 discard 1 we get a Mizuki, so that's nice for next turn. So we draw Minecon, Minecon the Kluger, summon this. Make the Phoenix, pop the back row that isn't the magic cylinder. Summon our 6. Mizuki summon back. Summon another 6, because this guy can turn those Yubels to defense. And use the search effect to Smith, grab a bit of follow-up. Gonna pass, because still count those Yubels. He's gonna chalice our guy, but we've got Samsara, so he still don't take any damage. So here I was, gonna run in the Phoenix into the Yubel, but we drew the droplet, so we're gonna be able to grab the OTK here. Make the Squire Saga, pop that magic cylinder, droplet, negate, and then if this wasn't game enough, we're gonna make a game in one shot with the big 8 synchro. Okay, up next is Tachyon. Luckily for them, they won the coin flip, otherwise we're gonna slap them with the Beatrice. Gonna use a skill, reveal the Galactic Spiral, grab a Nebula, set a Schwarzschild, flip that up, bounce it back for the counter trap, use Nebula, summon that and the guy, reveal Galactic Spiral, I can make number 107, and luckily for me they pass, so no back row, another level 8 to make the second XOC, so I'm going to use my skill, grab the Samsara, because it's important to not die in this matchup. Use my field spell to reborn, just, play around Vela, maybe try and bait out this interruption, but this guy, really not biting, does not want to use this counter trap on anything. So I'm going to summon the 6, use the graveyard effect, which I thought he would negate, but he doesn't, so I'm going to summon back. Going to force him to negate it now though, because summon our guy that would be bigger than his 107, and he doesn't want that, so use counter trap. I'm going to tribute this, summon 2 guys from the banish. Summon the sucker. Use the skill, kind of should have used the skill slightly later, but oh well. All I lose is the 1 sucker. So I can use Mizuki, summon back, draw a card. I'm going to make this for next turn, and then keep the other monster on board for a trap. So I'm going to summon this. I decide to pop here, and then also use the trap. This is a bit of a mistake. I was scared that he'd have Felgrand to negate my guy. I use it on my guy, so I can't use the trap on my guy, but my trap banishes for cost, so should have read my own card. Yeah, just going to summon an extra guy. Bounce it for the rank up. Summon the Galactic Spiral. Summon the Cypher. Rank it up. Pop my trap. Use the rank up. Summon this guy so they can negate my field, so they can run over it. Summon the Schwarzschild. Make a ding, send my field spell. And gonna leave me on absolutely nothing. So I probably had a better play here, but I kind of run out of time, so I did this very fast. And luckily we drew the Samurai, so we have the out of the ding. I'm gonna out the big guy with our level 8 synchro. I decided to banish that just in case he presses no on ding for some reason. But obviously he doesn't. I'm gonna clear his board, and luckily he draws nothing, so we have game, but I'm gonna BM a bit. Well, I do set up an interrupt for next turn, so maybe not that BM. I'm gonna attack for game. Next I got a couple of stage 2 replays. First one is just going to show how terrible the mirror is, because whoever goes first basically auto wins if they get to play. So I'm going to use my skill, cycle this out for another one, summon it, get the 3 from deck, and summon the Doomkaiser yoink his guy, and draw 1, discard 1, draw 2 needle sealing, which is pretty nice. Then go Synchro for the 8. Then link off. Then use the sucker, summon his guy back, so I get a free draw basically, and he also doesn't get to use his guy in the graveyard on the next turn because he's on the field, so that's what makes this matchup really hard. Gonna summon our guys back from Banish after using the skill, make the Yukiona, and then make the second sucker. I think what I could have done instead of this is go for 2 pops and make the Shiranui link, but I decided, I've got 3 back row. And probably got enough interrupts. Only way I lose is if they have enough traps to stop me, so I'd rather get some draws for more follow-up. So I'm going to use a skill, summon the Solitaire for some weird reason. Who knows? So we decide to summon back, get the draw, and pop his tuner. And then they're going to summon pass, because they can't use their level 2, because we put it on their field. So I'm going to summon a Doom Kaiser, and yoink his guy again. Cycle for a draw. Make a Phoenix, get rid of that back row, and then a Crackdown, but we've got Econ, Yoink Sky, and I'm going to beam a bit again. Summon level 6, summon this. Make the Shiranui link, so we've got the Samsara player I can banish the Sun Saga and set it up as an attack for next turn, but we're going to attack for game. Final replay is up against Rokket. I'm going to draw absolutely nothing going first, so we're going to summon that and set our true back row. Normal Tracer, use the skill for the field spell. Summon 2 guys from the hand. I'm going to Xyz summon Malevolent Sin. And Tracer, summon a guy from deck. Probably should have flipped on my trap because I knew they were going to make the Void Ogre, but I didn't. And they made the Void Ogre. But we've got this Xyz on call for this Malevolent Sin, and lucky for us, they're going to banish that guy for a turn, so we get to keep him. So luckily I draw this Droplet, so Godsark's going to be out, but turns out he doesn't negate anyway, so Godsark's just an easy out. Going to aim for 8 and pass. He's going to get his second part of his skill. He's going to Cosmic for some reason, even though he's not playing the game. I don't know why he does that, but if he had the Samsara, that would have been good for him. So we banish just to see if we can get a draw for the next turn, but we draw the level 4 anyway, so we can start popping off. It's going to floodgate us, but we've got the Squire. And we're going to use the Samsara to dodge the Chalice. Get a draw and discard just in case we've got a Mizuki. Summon 2 guys back. Now I couldn't kill because I made the wrong 6 synchro, but he's going to scoop it up anyway. That's been it for the video. It's been Jackson100 signing off. Have a good day.